I am Sophia Elliott and I am an allocation coordinator, and just a brief idea of our role is we allocate customer orders to the optimum sites around the country within our CCE cost.
What would you say are the core responsibilities of your day-to-day job within that role?
Our core responsibilities do vary. Obviously, our main priority is allocating customer loads around the country. Bear in mind our optimum site, which means where majority of production will take place and would be the cheapest. So we do have to bear in mind that cost for the business. Other responsibilities are maintaining relationships with internal stakeholders, especially important for the allocation role. So if there are any issues or we need updates on productions or amending customer loads, we have to have that very strong relationship with sites, with the deployment team in Uxbridge. Our responsibilities also as well is to do with customers. We don't have that face-to-face with them, but if they need amendments or if productions have gone down or running behind schedule, we have to have that communication with the customers to know whether they would like to sub or short their orders, because our aim is to ensure we fulfill their full orders and there's nothing short.
And could you tell us a bit about your career history and how you've progressed through code?
My career history, I came from finance in debt management, so this is a completely different ballgame to what I'm used to. My career actually with Coca-Cola Enterprises is very short. I've only been here for just over 18 months, and I started as a customer representative, which meant I had the customer-facing side of things. I was understanding how to process their orders, but also maintain a high level of relationships with the customers to ensure that if there are any errors, you're able to work together by having those strong relationships. I then moved on to the allocation team because for me, I saw a very big gap on my knowledge in the business. I completely understood the customer side of it, the KPIs we had to meet on that side, but when it came to things like actually allocating the stock and the networking side of the business, I did have very little knowledge. So I kind of came out of my comfort zone and went into a role such as allocation where I could build on my knowledge.
So were there any, when you were planning to change roles, were there any particular tools or techniques you used to sort of prepare for that?
Not in the sense of actually doing any courses or anything like that. For me, it was kind of making sure I was starting to be known on that side. So with the networking team and the allocation team, I went and sat with them and used my own time to have a further understanding of the role before I could apply for it, because I did want to have a bit of an understanding, and just kind of looking over what I'd gone through and what I'd done with the customer team and seeing, because it's very important cost-wise on where I am now, and I think it was just being able to provide examples of where I have been able to save cost on the customer side and how I would be a strong asset to save money on the allocation team as well. But for me, it was just really getting to understand a bit more about the role and showing my face and introducing myself to the team so that they do know me.
And if you were to be advising somebody who's just joined the organisation, so somebody from absolute scratch, what would your advice be to them to get the best out of their career here?
I think if someone did that for me, I would want to know about organising your own time management, because there are a lot of deadlines throughout the day in every role with Coke. So that was a big one I would probably tell anyone that's just started. For me, a big one for me, which I think helped in my favour, was just, again, going out of my comfort zone and going around the office and just saying hello to everyone, introducing myself, trying to understand what their role does, how it impacts my role and vice versa, and just build as much rapport and relationship within your own office so that if there are any problems or you have any questions, you're comfortable to go to that person. That would be my big one.